What is up, guys? It's your boy Temmie. I guess you already knew that, didn't you? And I am back with the final conclusion of this vlog series. That's what I'm gonna call it. I mean, that's a little bit too late. I'm kind of like 5 videos in now, but we are going to call this a docu-vlog series. I just made that up on the spot. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, to every single video, with me being very open and honest and vulnerable with you guys about my own, issues and problems and decisions that I've decided to make, going through this process, going through this journey with ups and downs, especially with last week. It wasn't really last week, today is Wednesday, so it was, 3 days ago, but last week's conclusion of the 4-week experience, or I would say like a experiment kind of thing of, how I've tried not to swear. And this is the final conclusion of So I Stopped Swearing. Who gives a I mean, I guess we all do, right? Well, maybe not about me specifically, but we all give a I most definitely give a I'm sorry. When you see the final video with the bleeps, it's kind of fun to include the little bleeps, so I kind of like to do that. I also spend a lot of time with the editing of these vlogs, so I hope you take that into account. It took me hours on hours on hours, oh my goodness. But that just shows the dedication. This is just a recap of my overall experience of this entire process, how I feel, what I went through, highs and lows, and how I actually got myself to progressively swear less throughout this entire process. As everyone who watched the vlogs, week 1 we had 86 swear words, which is insane. Week 2 was 78, week 3 was 40, and week 4 was 14. So you can clearly see the trajectory of me, progressively lowering how much I'm swearing, or how much I swore, sorry. One of the main things that really helped me personally, this is aside from academic sources and, what I read and how that may have helped, was in my own personal life, I used I used prayer to really help me calm down. As you guys know earlier, and kind of part of the whole point of me doing this is that I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I personally know that swearing is not something that I should be doing, especially so often and so vulgarly as that I clearly did, and something I would definitely want to cut back on. And prayer was a huge factor in getting me to swear less. I would just pray before my day, during my day. In times of anger and frustration, I'll try my best to calm down, find, like a sense of inner peace, and just to pray for God to help me to, just kind of get over this moment of anger. That's something that really helped me. Something that also really helped me was the actual tedious task of tracking every time I swore. That was probably the #1 way to actually help me stop swearing in the end, was by keeping track of how much I swore. When I'm going through the weeks or the days of the week, and through week 2 and 3 and stuff like that, and seeing how many times I swore and the words I was saying, and coming back, I'm like, damn, this is number 17 today. Like, those are kind of like gut checks, reality checks, where it's like, damn, like I need to be more cognitive of what I am saying. Like, I can't just be just like a sailor, like a trucker, just beep, beep, beep. Like, that's not me. That's not really who I am at the core of my being. So I have to check myself for real. And that also helped for sure, even if I'm in my bed playing video games and I'm just like, beep, I gotta pause the game if I can and go get my chart and write it down, write what I said, the context, like, to do that. I mean, it was annoying for the first 2 weeks, because I swore so many times, but by week 3 and week 4, I got tired of wanting to do that. So I was trying to limit how often I made those trips to document by just not swearing, you know? And that actually helped, almost like reverse psychology. That definitely helped for sure. I would also say something else that really helped me was trying to be aware of how my mood may affect those around me, you know, family members, friends, the way I would treat them in certain instances when I'm mad, you know, maybe saying something to someone with a certain tone that did not deserve to be spoken to in that way. That would help me kind of start to be more aware of how I am actually treating other people. Throughout this process, I actually started to be more aware of how I was, you know, communicating with others, and especially in terms of being frustrated or, you know, annoyed. And I saw great progress in, you know, the way I would react or the way I would not react, which is more important in those moments of high tempers and, you know, feelings of attitude. And that was one thing that was important in the process of this journey, was that I would come to that goal of me not allowing bad moods to truly have a negative effect on me in the end, and affect the way I communicate with others, or the way I even talk to myself in my own head, or, you know. And that's definitely something that I'm glad that I was able to push through and get to in the end. And just knowing that when you swear so much and so often, it can come from a negative part of you, a part of you that should not be expressed so often and so outwardly, especially towards other people. And I found that out in my readings, you know, where the more often you say bad words, the more negative your mind may think. It's easier to just, now that I've stopped swearing as often, for sure, when I'm around other people who are so vulgar, it's almost like offensive. Like, why are you like, and it's crazy to think that I'm this way now, how I can hear someone speak a certain way and it's almost like, damn, like it hits, like the words, the way someone says words, and how aggressive and how often and how angrily, it's like, it almost affects you. Like, you don't want to be around that person. Like, it's clearly something's off with you. You know, I don't want to be around you. Obviously, there's different contexts in how you can swear, you know, joking with your friends, playing sports, things like that. But outburst type moments are those ones where they stick out and they stand out a lot more clear to me than they ever did before, because I was that person who would have those types of moments. And for me to kind of see this switch in the way my mind sees and approaches communication and how vulgar things can be, I'm surprised, but I'm glad that I've kind of come to this side where I can see a different perspective, because I've now kind of played both sides of the fence, and that's new and that's interesting. And yeah, that's definitely a goal that I wanted, that I set out for myself from the jump, and I'm very glad that I was able to reach that. Honestly, this process was amazing to me. I've never had to do something like this before, where I've had to be so monitor myself so meticulously. And I'm glad that I was able to do this. I'm glad I chose to do this project for my final project. I feel lighter, you know, the way I carry myself, the way I feel when I'm speaking. I feel in a happier mood, more that I've kind of tried to limit the swear words from my vocabulary. Obviously, they're still there and I have my moments, but for the most part, I say I would honestly have limited my swearing by almost 90+% from prior to starting this. And that is a huge milestone. And like I said before, I think I'm going to continue to try and do this as long as I can, you know, try and make this like integrate part into who I am, and to not revert back to previous ways as best as I can. I appreciate you guys for coming along with me this journey. This is just a little recap of how I felt throughout the experience. You know, week 1 was rough. It was fresh. It was new. I wasn't used to it. Week 2 was almost the same, but slightly better. And, you know, week 3 and 4, we saw giant leaps of progress. And at the end of this entire thing, that's the one word I have come to understand and to describe about this is progress. And if you really work hard and if you really challenge yourself to do something that you want to change, and if you're determined to do it, it is something that you can accomplish for sure, you know. And here I am. I'm Temi. I feel not like a new man, but I feel like a new man because I'm the same person, but I'm slightly different. You know, I got a little bit more of a upbeat, you know, vibe to me now. You know, I've always been like that, but you know what I mean? Like in terms of how I communicate, it's a lot more positive. That's the key word right there. I thank you guys for joining with me, and I appreciate the journey. Thank you for being here. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, try to challenge yourself in your own way. Anything in your life that you feel like you can kind of do in a similar way, I challenge you to also do your own thing. And at this point in the video, you probably know what I'm about to say. So if you already know what I'm about to say, you can join along, say it with me. It's your boy Temi. This is my docu-vlog series called So I Stopped Swearing. Who gives up? Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. And maybe you'll see me again. Stay tuned. Peace.